Welcome to the second episode of Forbidden Frames. Let's see what the challenge is. Woohoo! Okay. Photography style. This is a lifestyle boudoir photo session. Preparation time. There is no preparation time, but you have 1 week to find the Polaroid films. Challenge. Polaroid ceased manufacturing films for this camera in 1992, making them hard to find. Any available films are expired. The challenge involves finding these films and shooting with them, despite having no prior knowledge of the camera. You must style the session from your closet to match the year the camera was manufactured, with no new purchases allowed. Time, you have only 4 hours to complete the session. Equipment, Polaroid 850 land camera. Film type, type 47, type 42, type 48. Lighting, natural light. Model, you're limited to one model. Passing rules, you must have at least one image to complete this challenge. If you fail the passing, we will convert the camera to a 120 film camera, and you must model for the session wearing the same outfit at the same location. Okay, well, challenge accepted. Let's see what equipment we have here in the box. Wow, this is our camera. Look at this. And that's it. Just the camera. Okay, so let's see if we're gonna make the history with Polaroid 850. The Polaroid 850 Electric Eye land camera is a folding rangefinder camera. This camera uses type 47, type 42, and type 48 roll films. It was manufactured from 1961 to 1963. The camera was designed by American inventor and scientist Edwin Land, who developed a process for self-developing photography between 1943 and 1947. There is one of these cameras in the History Colorado collection, donated by KBTV Channel 9 news photographer Stan Oliner. I believe Robert Mapplethorpe, an American Polaroid photographer, also used this camera, but there is nothing specifically mentioned about this particular camera in his book, Polaroids. The unique feature of this camera is its electric eye, which automatically adjusts the camera exposure. The last type 47 film roll manufactured for this camera was in 1992, so they have all expired for decades. And the current value for this camera is between $30 and $60. All right, let's get started. So I have this chair over here because I don't have a tripod. This will help me to keep my camera stable, and the camera is pretty heavy, so it's very difficult to hold without shaking in one hand. So let me open this first. Here, how you do it. And all I have to do is just to pull it forward until it clicks. All right, so my camera is ready, and the settings, so really nothing too much to adjust, only here, which says outdoor, indoor. It starts from normal, day and night, so I'm somewhere going to be here in the middle, close to day, and let's see if that's going to be enough, a proper exposure for me. So let me frame first Sophia to see what I see, and I'll pose you from there. So one of the challenges that I'm facing here is I cannot close one of my eyes. So I can do this, but I cannot do it the other way, and which is why this is going to be very helpful for me. So I will focus first, trying to cover one of my eyes, and I'm gonna look through the rangefinder window first to make sure that my subject is in focus, and then I will see through the viewfinder window, make sure that it's framed properly, and then I'll take a shot. So let's focus first. And here's where I have to focus. Okay, it's still a little bit challenging because I have to hold my camera. Tripod would be very helpful, but okay. Oh, I see. So now I'm kind of trying to, yeah. Okay, so somewhere here. Let me double check. So another way to make sure that your subject is in focus, you can actually measure how far the subject is from the camera and then adjust it over here. So my subject is about 8 to 9 feet. I can double check it again, but I can do it either this way. Let me try. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and probably to your eyes is going to be around 8. And I'm going to add 1 extra foot just to compensate, because my foot is not 12-inch. So, but it's going to be around, I believe, 8. So it's actually on 6. That's what I see. So let's get tested and see if that's proper. Beautiful. Okay, so my first shot, I believe, is going to be my test shot. So first I have to cock it, and then I have to press on shutter. Shutter is right here. And all right. Okay, let's check it out and see what we got. Okay, let's read the manual. I'm gonna close this. So I like the process of opening it and closing. It's so satisfying. Okay, all right. So I've never done that before, and I need Eliar's guidance with that.
I'm gonna have to unlock this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pull out the rest of that paper. Yeah, pull it out. Pull it up, pull it up, pull it up, all the way. All the way, all the way. Pull it up. It's quite until it stops.
Yeah, the stops.
Okay.
Okay. 13 Mississippi, 14 Mississippi, 15 Mississippi. Ta-da!
Okay. No, don't ta-da. Now take it out.
Okay, take it out. Take it out from here? Close it?
No.
Ah, ta-da, from
You're
here.
gonna have to,
okay.
hold on.
I thought it's going to appear right here.
Now you're gonna have to tear this.
Okay, it's like a kinder surprise.
Slowly open it.
Okay.
Okay, and there's
nothing. I was so excited. That was such a great pose. Since I knew the films for this camera were all expired, and based on the YouTube videos where people had failed to get an image out of their cameras, I decided to get my hands on as many film rolls as possible, hoping one would actually work. I purchased a few on eBay from different sellers on Etsy and on Mercari. Each film roll ranges from $45 to $65, so I ended up spending about $480 on films and shipping. For the look of the photos, I aimed for something simple, something casual that resembled the early 1960s. Since I spent a lot of money on film, I didn't want to invest in a wardrobe, so with our model Sophia, we picked a few outfits from my closet that were see-through and more on the seductive side. So we moved outside just to try a different film, and this is the 200 ISO that we're going to use now. Let's see if this film actually works or not. We're gonna test first to see if we're getting anything. So anyways, I'm not gonna really focus on my focus. Let's see if it works first.
2-minute timer or 3-minute timer?
2 minutes.
Ah.
See, I told you.
You're right.
I told you it should be more time. You didn't believe me.
Yeah, we have like 10 minutes
8
now.
minutes.
Not 8, it's just too
8
much.
minutes. Look, it's the silhouette I told you. It's going to be a silhouette of hers.
You were right.
I have
And
that.
it's quite an artistic, cute picture.
It is. It's interesting how I have like intuition. I always feel, okay, this is wrong. We should try this one. It always works. So this Polaroid 850 was an absolute nightmare. We made 5 attempts to make this camera work, but it was just not possible. The reason I kept trying was that I was getting closer and closer each time to getting an image, and then the next shot would be blank. On top of that, the camera is so big and so heavy, and it has tiny rangefinder and viewfinder windows through which I could barely see anything. What I like about it though is that it's a fun camera, and if it would work, that would be amazing. I love the folding part, erecting it, the focusing process, pulling the film out, revealing the film, and the short wait for developing. It was all just fun, even though we got nothing from Polaroid film rolls. So we burned the other film as well. Now we're working with another Type 42 film, 200 ISO, and I actually just discovered that we can manually adjust our aperture, and it's right here. There is a little window over here, and I adjusted my aperture to f/16. So, whew, and let's do another try and see if we can make the history today with this camera. So we changed. Sophia is wearing red color bodysuit. It's actually cute on you, and we are going to take advantage of the natural light here. We have bright sun, but we're close to the sunset, so we have to hurry up. Okay. All right, so I just counted. Here is about 10 feet. She's about 10 feet away from the camera, and hopefully my focus didn't change. Again, if you remember, I'm having these issues with closing one of my eyes, and I think it's good. So let me just check on my composition. I think that's cute. I'm not even sure what frame I have, but okay, let's do it. I have to keep it steady. Okay, let me double check, sorry. All right, everything is good. And let's do it. All right, let's take a look. After multiple trials and errors, we also discovered that after we pull out the film, that's when developing starts, and that's when we have to start counting those 15 seconds. So let's go ahead and do that and see if we're gonna get a result. And we're gonna be right here on the patio. Okay. I'm actually going to close it, so it would be easier for me to work with the camera. All right, so I'm going to pull out the film. Okay, I can rip it, right?
Yes.
Closing. Now I'm going to open, count till 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Thanks, birds. That was helpful. Maybe we should wait a little bit more, no? Okay. All right, Eliar says no means no.
You're killing 15 seconds right there.
Because I feel like I should wait a little bit longer. Now, do I have to wait here?
No.
Can you remind me? No. Okay. And let's see. Oh, we have something showing here. A little bit of silhouette of Sophia. We see her legs, her arms, the trees behind. So I have a feeling that we should wait a little bit longer. What do you think? No? Let's take a try. So if this happened within 15 seconds, I think definitely we should wait for another like 90. I always feel like I need to wait because that's what we were doing at the beginning. Ta-da! Oh! Something, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh! Okay.
Is Sophia in there?
No. Sophia is somewhere here.
I'm a tree.
She blended with the tree, I think. Or maybe I moved my camera. It's completely white. Ta-da! Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Imagine it's going to be completely white. It is completely white. So I think we tried so many different ways.
So let's start from the front of the camera, starting from all the way up here. You got your shutter. This is pretty much your shutter over here. And down here, you got your ISO and your manual adjustment. So you have a dial right here in the right side. And this is how you're going to adjust your ISO or your aperture. And this one over here, push it to the right or left. And this is going to indicate if you're adjusting your ISO or ASA in this case, which is the same thing, or you're manually adjusting your aperture. So that's for that. And then you got your lens over here. Here is your electronic eye. You want to make sure that you have a battery in there and make sure this is clean. And this is pretty much how you're going to expose your camera or automatic expose your camera to light. Up here you got your scenes. So if I show you, you got outdoor and you got indoor, and you have day, night, and normal.
After using this camera, I thought about what a privilege people had back then using these cameras. The anticipation, the counting, and getting a tangible photo in your hand is just far superior to what we have now in the digital world. We take thousands of photos on our phones and they just go somewhere up there in the cloud and are forgotten. The Polaroid users took one image, and I bet they still have it and are protecting those images. The biggest lesson this camera taught me was persistence. Even though we were instantly failing over and over again, we kept trying. Since I failed my session with Polaroid 850, it's my turn to be a model for the shoot. But before we start, I want to talk about two mistakes that we made during our session. First mistake was we purchased all the films from eBay from people that we don't know about, so those films were actually damaged. And the second mistake, the film was not adapted to the room temperature, so we kept it in the refrigerator and we took it right away from the refrigerator before the actual session. So this time we purchased our Type 47 film from a legit store, from a person we actually know, and he promised us that this film was kept in a very good condition and it might work. So we're super excited to try the film. And, oh, something coming up. Oh, no. Yeah, you can kind of clearly see. So this part is not being transferred on this side. And that's what happens.
Nothing.
Great shot.
We added the winding knob. We added the spool with a converter, a 120 spool with a converter. We added this mask over here with some velvets on top of it just to protect the film. And we added the film catcher. Okay.
Apparently, Yuliya tested this camera right before the shoot to figure out how it works, and he got an image from the first roll on the third shot. If I had used that roll, we would have had the one shot I needed for the book and to complete this challenge. I don't know how he got the shot, and he doesn't know either, but it worked, and I didn't find out about it until today. The only different thing he did was he used it cold, straight out of the refrigerator. We were told by a professional to wait 24 hours for the film to adapt to room temperature and then use it. That almost worked, but not quite as well as when the film was still cold. Unfortunately, we couldn't go back and test it again because by the time I found out, Yuliya had already converted the camera to a 120 film camera, and the second camera we bought to retest our theory was just straight broken. I'm ready.
1, 2, 3.
Just keep in mind that the very first two are 3 rotations, so you're supposed to rotate it 3 times, but the rest, for the rest, we're going to rotate 2.5 times, so keep that in mind. So we moved to the patio, and this is where we photographed Sophia, or I would say we tried to photograph Sophia. We failed, so that is why it is my turn right now. We're working with color film, and this color film is 800 ISO. You can see it here. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing as I did for my previous session. I'm going to mark the starting point right here. So that's where we start rotating, and we're going to do exact same thing as we did with black and white film. So let's give it a try and see how it works.
So this was a really expensive shoot for us. We spent $27 on the first camera, $15 on the second camera. We also spent $480 on film rolls, $48 on batteries, $25 on the 120 films, and $85 on processing and scans. The scans were particularly expensive due to the unusual 6x12 image size. Additionally, we spent $50 on the 3D prints to convert the camera, and $12 on some tools, and $2,000 on the model's travel expenses from Argentina to Orlando. So the total cost for this session was $2,742.
You're a little bit...
So first tell me, what do you think? Did we, after how many attempts did we have? Like 5 attempts?
We had 5 attempts. 1, 2... I lost count of how many attempts we had. But the last attempt, I was hoping that we're gonna get something out of that. So let's see.
Let's see if Travis was
right or wrong. Okay. Let's see if we can trust Travis next time or not. Oof, all right.
So they're mixed, the black and white and the colors.
Okay. Ta-da-da-dum. Ooh, okay, so this is the last ones. I love the tones. Wow, I love how panoramic they are. I look cute.
By the way, the digital is not cropped like that.
Okay, so I see that there is a crop here.
Yeah,
So that's not how, I hope that's not how you're framing me, right?
No. The framing in this camera is very different. But I saw the digits and it's not exactly like that.
Well, it looks sharp to me, like everything is not super sharp, but it looks in focus at least. So we don't see any focusing problems here.
And it's like a 6x12.
I love how, yeah, they are. It's like my legs look pretty long in this image, and I love the colors. Here are the final images from the Polaroid 850 converted to a 120 film camera. The images turned out to be 6x12, almost panoramic. I was quite surprised by the results and was not expecting it at all. We used Ilford HP5 400 ISO 120 film for the black and white images and 120 Kodak Portra 800 for color. Overall, I had fun using the Polaroid Land 850 electric eye camera. I learned so much about Polaroid, folding rangefinder cameras, and about myself. I think the time and money invested in this camera were totally worth it. And most importantly, we made Boudoir history with the Polaroid 850 Land camera. And if you want to watch behind the scenes from the shoot, go to BIB TV. All the videos, all behind the scenes are available for you to watch. We live in Boudoir.